direction of Jeanette Steeves, performed its very first concert, thought to be its only concert, as it was formed for a very specific occasion, 100 years since the town of Port Elgin had been incorporated. And here we all are, 50 years later, still singing. Some of our current members were in that very first concert or joined very shortly thereafter. If you are in the audience or in the choir, you can wave, please, and you were in that first concert in May 1974 and are willing to admit it, would you please stand up? Woo! That's awesome. Anybody here? We definitely honor you. With sadness, I have to say that as a result of a sudden illness, our Jeanette is unable to be with us today. In a very significant way, today's concert is a resounding tribute to her ongoing contribution to this community in so many ways. Later in the program, I will deliver a message that she has sent to be read to you. Godfrey Rideout's arrangement of O Canada has been the opening of this choir's concerts frequently over the years, and was the opening number in the very first concert in 1974. If you have been part of Centennial Singers or Chantry Singers ever over the past 5 decades, we invite you to please come forward and sing Godfrey Rideout's O Canada with us. There are a few copies of the music here. I'm suggesting that if you know which part you want to sing, that you find a place among us that's near a person that you would like to sing with. And we're going to open the concert with a joint singing of Godfrey Rideout's O Canada. So come on down. Anybody coming? Oh.
Thanks, Sam. I'll take over here.
Yeah. Although I will ask you to stand, as it is our national anthem, I will also ask you to just listen to the beautiful arrangement and refrain from singing until I bring you in. I will bring you in for the finish. So here we are, Godfrey Rideout's O Canada with lots of choristers.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki. Thank you so much. Sure. Thank you. Oh, that was fun. Thank you all. What a great kickoff. We move on now to two pieces that celebrate the sheer joy of making music together. The choir would like to dedicate the next piece, A Place in the Choir, to our former chorister, good friend, and former president for many years, John Clay. John now lives in Brantford and was unable to be with us today. He used to send me a YouTube video of this song. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's fun. So we know he likes it. We welcome Kim Lake on fiddle for A Place in the Choir. Adrian's going to be adding an extra pair of hands on the piano. And Becca Selman and Greg Nicholson will be percussionists for Music Lead the Way. So Place in the Choir and Music Lead the Way.
Just clap their hands, the balls are ready, can be got now.
Ian and Catherine Sadler have been very good friends to Chantry singers, and certainly to Peter and to me for many years. When Ian was director of the Stratford Concert Choir, that choir and Chantry singers collaborated on 2 or 3 concerts. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. Ian has been the organist for several of our performances, and we are thrilled that he has agreed to be that for us again today. Ian, thank you for being a special guest, and would you like to say a few words?
I won't be too long because I know you're all standing, but it's an absolute honor to be here this afternoon to help in the celebrations. 50 years, half a century. Wow, that's absolutely tremendous. I would like to say to you, yes, I was in on the beginning of this choir, and that's why I'm here today, but I wasn't back in 1974. I was still in the UK, but it's been a wonderful association. It began about 25 years ago. If you remember the telephone, when I tell my children about the telephone and you put your finger in the number and you go like, they look at me still a bit. Anyway, if you remember my phone rang and there was a lovely lady on the other end. Would you come and be our organist for a concert with my Chantry singers? So straight away, Chantry, I thought, now whereabouts is that in Ontario? And I started to ask her some questions about the choir. I was quite thrilled and honored to have been asked, but I needed a bit of background information. So the singers are from Chantry, is that correct? Well, there's a lighthouse keeper and a lot of birds, but that's about it for Chantry. Okay, that didn't give me any more. But she said, we're from that region. It's just Port Elgin, Southampton, all around there, where the singers come from. So if you'd like to come up and play the organ for us, that would be absolutely wonderful. So I agreed to do that, and we didn't talk any more about the Chantry Island. But I got to thinking that there are 2 very special words today. It's their celebration, it's Chantry singers. And somewhere in there, it tells us the complete story almost about the choir. If you take a letter from those 2 words, Chantry singers. We begin with C. C for celebration. Today it's a wonderful, wonderful milestone, not just for the good people behind me singing in our current day choir, but also, of course, for those many who have gone before us, who've moved on, moved away, but there have been many, many singers in this organization. H, harmony. One of the things as a singer that we can't do is sing on our own in harmony. We need others. And by golly, coming out to a choir practice and singing in 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts, it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And that's the good people behind me know that. And we can't do it alone. We need our choir to sing in our harmony. Instrumentalists can do it, not wind players, but we do need the other singers. Then A. Well, that's easy. I should almost make you guess. A for Anne. Okay. I'm not going to leave it just right there, but there's so much I could say. And of course to Jeanette, dear Jeanette Steeves, who founded the choir as well. The leadership of this organization has just been wonderful over the years. And a testament to that is the choir that you see behind me today as well. And you'll be seeing one of the former conductors a little bit later on in our program. And then the N, name change. When it changed from the Port Elgin Centennial, yeah, you're looking forward to Y, aren't you? I got stuck on that one, but just wait. I'm still working on it as I speak, but I think I've got something. But it did change back in 2001. But again, a good testament to this organization. Name changes can sometimes be a downfall, but it continued on from strength to strength. T, travel. They've shared wonderfully within our community here in Port Elgin in so many ways with our concerts, but they've gone beyond that. Great expense individually, sometimes to all of the singers to be able to travel and be great ambassadors in their music making. New York City, the UK, they've done a lot of traveling over the years and shared their talents with other audiences. R for repertoire. gosh, they've sung a lot of music. In 50 years, probably the list would go on and on. But when you think of all the music that is being performed at concerts, all different types as well. Wonderful to hear music of a lighter nature to Handel's Messiah, music with instruments, such a wide variety. And I think that's the secret. I'm sure it is with our concert making variety. People love that. And it's wonderful to have that here in this choir. And we come to why, years of experience. Behind me here, you'll see the singers. When I looked at it at first, I thought, oh, is that their date of birth? No, it can't be. Well, it could be. How am I doing? Are we doing all right? Yeah. But if you look in the program, there are dates after all of the names of the singers, and while some of them, that they're not dates of birth, but there they are when they've joined the choir. So a tremendous, when you put everybody together, the years of experience that go into the singing that you hear. And the S on the end there, or the beginning of the word singers, support to local groups. This piano here, funds were raised by the choir to help in its purchase. Musical instruments within the community as well. The choir has done tremendous outreach. So important in a community to get that message out there. And over the years, they've done a lot of support to local groups, young performers as well, within the context of their concerts. They've had many performers over the years come, not just singers, but instrumentalists as well. So they're giving opportunity to a lot of people and exposing them to wonderful audiences like yourself. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without instruction. Vocal training each week, of course, is given, and leadership from our accompanist as well at rehearsals. And we don't just open our music. So many people, and I know that our audience this afternoon appreciates this, but there are so many people who believe that we all just show up and sing or perform or play. The business of practicing and learning, they're not often aware about how much goes into that. So the instruction that the choir has been receiving from former conductors, along with Anne, absolutely tremendous, as you've witnessed already this afternoon in the first bit of the program. The N, newcomers, welcomed to the choir. That is so important. When people move in to the area and they'd love to sing in a choir, this choir is very, very welcoming. It is not always the case that is so. And I know from first-hand experience that this is a very, very welcoming group. And that's why there are so many singers behind me. It's wonderful to see so many men in the choir as well as ladies. And not many choirs can boast so many. And G, guest artists like myself are welcomed. And I'm doing all right, aren't I? Yeah, okay. All right, we're nearly at the end of the list. Guest artists. I've come in many times to play for concerts, and I literally just come through the door to the dress rehearsal. The choir has been prepared, and I sit down and I accompany. And it's a tremendous honor to be asked to do that, to come in on the end of all the preparations, and the accompanist steps aside and I play the organ for the choir, and they sound wonderful. So very welcoming to guest artists, and the message gets out there as well. Now, when I got to E, I thought there's another special person that this choir could not almost exist without. When I was at school in England, I was called Sadler. So I'm going to just ask Christina if she doesn't mind me saying the E is for Edwards. Okay, but now we've got over that, I will say that the choir is very fortunate to have a wonderfully supportive accompanist, not just in beautiful accompanying within the concerts, but I know support during the rehearsals, and that enables the conductor to really work with the choir well. So it's wonderful to have Christina, and she's so welcoming. When I come in and she steps aside, she's played all these accompaniments to help the choir learn the music, yet I've been coming in to play the organ, and she welcomes me in, and it's just great. So the accompanist, very, very important. And of course the singers, now we come to our rehearsal. of course, they have to be very dedicated. Do you mind if I miss 3 rehearsals? Because they have to, weekly rehearsals. I know sometimes it's inevitable people are going to be away, but the regular routine of performing in this choir very much hinging on the rehearsal schedule as well. So it's tremendous commitment, and as you can see, they really enjoy their music making. It's great to be a part of that. And the S, I've saved it to the end there on singers. Today is a special day, and it wouldn't be possible for us to celebrate it just as a choir, okay, or just get together with the guest artists. Nope, we need you. The whole picture is the audience and the choir and all of us coming together for a performance. We can practice all we want to an empty church. It's not very fulfilling until the day comes when we can perform. So I thank you for being here this afternoon. And going back to that island, maybe when I think of the solitude there and that bird sanctuary, if any of you have ever been in a place, maybe you've been to Chantry Island, but to hear those birds singing, beautiful. So maybe that's what inspired the name for this choir, the beautiful singing of those birds on Chantry Island. Perhaps that was it. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Thank you for being here this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Ian. Our nod to the classics will also include Robert Tite on clarinet for The Lord is My Shepherd. And, oh, wait, am I saying the right thing? Yes, I am. Okay. And a string quartet with Kim Lake and Liam Nickel on violin, Sherry Lake on viola, and Ruth Dalton on cello for the ground. So our nod to the classics set. Some of you may have been at the concert that we did in Tolme Church a couple of weeks ago, which was all Broadway show tunes. And Rob played some pretty jazzy stuff. But this is going to be quite a different experience. So thank you, Rob, very much for being here and lending your talents. During the first decade of the choir's existence, Jeanette Steeves was the director, of course, and Jean Stickings was the pianist. Gladys Eby was in the inaugural concert, and I've been asked to share some of her memories. As soon as I find it, I'll be good. Oh, here. This is Gladys talking. It was a very exciting time when Centennial Singers, under the direction of Jeanette Steeves, came into being during Port Elgin's 100th year celebration. Bruce County tartan was worn as a sash for the ladies and a tie for the men. Besides doing concerts around Port Elgin and area, I remember traveling to London, Ontario to sing in an impressive, large, beautiful church. Gladys and I actually were trying to decide if that was St. Paul's or if that was St. Peter's. We're not sure. It might have been St. Paul's Cathedral. We also traveled to Huntsville, Ontario for a concert there. For me, that's Gladys, both were special because a different sister of mine was able to attend each concert. We also sang with the Georgian Bay Symphony in Owen Sound. A record was made later, the cover of which is on the front page of your program. Gladys says, "I was so pleased to have been a part of this amazing choir." Thanks for sharing that, Gladys. The next two selections were originally performed in the 70s. Darby Kelly was in the very first concert in 1974. For What I Did for Love, Becca Selman is back on the drums. So the 70s. The 1980s decade saw a lot of change for the Port Elgin Centennial Singers. In 1984, Jeanette finished her time with the choir. Bert Hood became the director. Bert's from Owen Sound. Bert was directing when I joined the choir as a chorister in September of 1984. Ann Hans was the pianist. In January of 85, I became the pianist. Bert left a year or so later, and the former pianist, Jean Stickings, took over as director. I was her pianist for several years. When Jean left, after the Christmas concert in 1987, I was asked to try directing for one session. I continued in that role until the spring of 1991 with Marion Pedwell and then Diane Eaton as pianist working with me. Grace Rainey wanted to share some of her memories at this point. Grace, where are you? Oh, she's wearing the costume. This is perfect. Okay, yep, you don't have to get up.
First of all, can you believe that all this started in my living room? Well, we started out, Jeanette Steves was the choir leader and organist of Port Elgin United Church when I first came to Port Elgin. And one year, she thought, wouldn't it be nice for us to get together and have a little group to sing madrigals? So myself and several others, we had the biggest living rooms, so that's where we used to get together to sing. And we had a lot of fun. And the madrigals, well, if you've ever sung them, you will know that some of the lyrics are fairly suggestive. And we had several young girls, and they would turn a lovely shade of red when we'd sing them. Clarissa McKay was a member at that time, and it was she who decided that we should get together and form a choir to celebrate Port Elgin's centennial year. And so that is where we got the name Centennial Singers. It was a great idea, and it was the nucleus of the Chantry Singers that has been together for over 50 years. Through the years, we had a number of excellent directors and accompanists, and thankfully Anne has mentioned their names, who all brought new ideas to the table. And for you who were here during the Jackie Hawley and Laurie Lee Nelson years, can any of you remember Picky, Picky, Picky? And we had a lot of fun. There was a lot of hilarious hijinks while they were together. And we just happened to have a very good men's section because not only was Jackie an excellent leader, but she was very easy on the eyes. I just have a few memories. We used to have a lot of the parties at our house. And we had a big house, and we had a circular staircase. And there were a few very interesting members of the choir who would slide down the banister. Yeah, I'm sure you won't own up. But and then we had Congo lines, and we had a pool, and we usually had our first concert in June. And unfortunately, one year, Jeanette was thrown in the pool, and she had brand new shoes on. And needless to say, she was not amused. As time grew by, the choir grew and grew, and because people came from a longer distance, we decided to name it the Chantry Singers for all of the lakeshore. And for a long time, Anne has led the choir, and they've become the superb choir you've all come to hear tonight. And needless to say, it's been a tremendous privilege being part of this choir. Thank you.
In this set coming up from the 80s, we welcome back former director Rachel Schwartzel to conduct the choir singing Song for the Myra. Rachel and I got to know one another as new mums in a baby group in 1995, and I felt privileged to work with her both as colleagues in Centennial Singers and as fellow teachers at Southampton Summer Music. Rachel, would you like to come forward and say a few words? And I don't know where you are. I know, oh, there she is. And also, she's going to direct the next song.
Hello, everybody. great to see everybody's smiling faces out there. And I just want to say, first of all, a very warm thank you to Anne and the choir for inviting us back. I'm here with my husband, Jeff, and our daughter, Rebecca. So thank you for having us. You make us feel so welcome. Yes, so I was first a choir member when we first came to live in Port Elgin in the 90s, mid-90s. And it's lovely to come back and see familiar faces of people who are still singing in the choir from those days. So nice to see you all. Regarding the song we're singing today, Song for the Myra was written by Alistair McGilvery in 1973, and it speaks about this individual's longing to return to a much-loved place. So when Anne suggested this piece, I thought it was actually quite fitting, because coming back here reminds me of all the lovely times we had here, starting our married life together, beginning our family. So I'm sure everybody can relate to some place or time in their life that they would enjoy returning back to or thinking about. So I invite you to think of that place right now as we sing Song for the Myra. And I'm very happy also to have Meryl Gilmore joining us on flute. Again, we got to work together for many years at the summer music camp, so it's great to be back. Enjoy Song for the Myra. Think of your happy place.
Out on the Myra, on warm afternoons, old men go fishing with black line and spoons. And if they catch nothing, they never complain. I wish I was with them again.
As boys in their boats call to girls on the shore, teasing the ones that they dearly adore, and into the evening the courting begins. I wish I was with them again.
We're just moving on to What a Wonderful World and For the Beauty of the Earth, after which we will have intermission. go ahead, take a break, and we'll see you in a bit. Yeah, you can. Okay, I think I got this on. I'm just watching to see who's coming on. I'll let you in as you log in. I'll let you in. So, just let me know when you're there. Oh, here's my accompanist. Yay! So once. Sorry, is it working? I don't. Oh, there they go. Okay, I see Wendy now, and Judy, and Sherry. Okay, there's Doug. Okay, I see some folks. Oh, this is good. This is good. Oh. I see. You. It was a crazy time, crazy, crazy time. During the 1990s, the Centennial Singers experienced a lot more changes. After I left in 1991, Jackie Hawley became the director, followed by Rachel Schwartzel. Lori Lee Nelson followed Diane Eaton as pianist. Jackie was unable to be here today, but she has sent a recorded greeting for today's concert. So if possible, it'd be great if that could be played here.
Hello, Anne and Chantry Singers and Saugeen Shores friends. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary, Chantry Singers. I wish I could be there to make music with you, but I'm busy making music here in Ottawa and wasn't able to get to Port Elgin and back. I have lots of good memories and wonderful friends from the years that I was the leader of the Centennial Singers, and I'm very blessed to still be in touch with many of you. I wish you a very happy celebration, enjoy your music making, and have many more years of bringing beautiful music to your community. Congratulations.
We're going to do now a little group from the choir. We're doing that Dixieland sound, and we're thanking Becca again for joining us on the percussion. Every now and then, we're allowed to think out of the box. As the rest of the choir takes their places, I would like to take this time to acknowledge all the wonderful pianists who have collaborated with this choir over the 50 years. Right now, we are so very blessed with the amazing talent of Christina Edwards, for whose talent, dedication, friendship, and sense of humor I am eternally grateful. Thank you, Christina. I am going to, yeah. I will read out the names of the wonderful musicians without whom no concert could ever happen. If any of you are in the audience, I hope you will stand and remain standing as I call out your name. Jean Stickings has passed away. So Jean Stickings was the first one. Anne Hans, Anne Fleming, Marion Pedwell, don't know if she's here, Diane Eaton, Lori Lee Nelson, Marion Pedwell again, Joan Myers, there's Joan, Adrian Little, yay, and Ian Burbage. Did Ian come today? No, don't see him. Those are all the pianists we've had in the 50 years, so a lot of talent condensed in a small group. Thank you to each and every one of you for your time and talent and support of this choir. We can never do any of this without you. In our pieces from the 90s, we included Jeanette Steve's Lake Huron song, which will feature Merrill Gilmore on flute. So our little set, River in Judea and Lake Huron song. This is for you, Jeanette. The 2000s had me as director with Marion Pedwell, Joan Myers, Adrian Little, Ian Burbage, and then Christina as pianists. We invite Chuck Beaton forward, if he would come, to share some of their memories of the 2000s. Do you want the podium, Chuck? Or are you good down there? Do you want the podium?
Fine, yes. My only time on the podium. Jean and I are delighted to be here this afternoon, and we're delighted that you're here this afternoon. It's a great day in the life of the choir and in the community. I'm going to tell you a story. Most of the choir have probably heard me tell this story before, but most of you would not have heard this, but it fits into the 50th anniversary. I had a friend in the States who was a mentor to me, and when he retired, he went back to Connecticut and bought a place close to his alma mater, which was Yale University. And he thought he would spend his retirement by taking the occasional course. But what he also did was he joined the prestigious Alumni Association choir of Yale University. And he was just thrilled to be able to be in that choir. And he said I was doing very well in that choir until we did Handel's Messiah. And he said when it came to the Hallelujah chorus, he said, I got lost in the runs. And he said, all of a sudden the choir stopped. And he said, I stopped too. I did not embarrass myself, nor did I embarrass the choir. But he said, ever since that time, I've been walking around carrying 2 hallelujahs that I haven't sung yet. Well, that could have been my story about this choir. I was thrilled to be part of the Chantry Singers. And I, too, got lost when we joined a cappella, and we did the Messiah, and I got lost in the runs of the bass. The basses and the tenors have those long runs, and I hope you guys pay more attention than I did. So I got lost in the runs as well, and I have hallelujahs that I haven't sung yet. But I'm going to let two of them out this afternoon because they seem to fit. So I have two hallelujahs to share with you. The first hallelujah is, hallelujah, I was a bass singer in the Chantry choir. When Jean and I retired in the summer of 1998, she joined the choir right away. We had friends in our congregation in Southampton who sang in it, so they took Jean to sing in the Chantry choir. She had been an elementary music teacher and did choral music for Halton County for many years. So she said, I have this need to sing in a good choir. So she kept coming home to tell me that this was a good choir. We're having a lot of fun and we do some good things. And one day she came home and she said, this is a good choir, Chuck. She said, this is a choir that you could sing in. She knew I loved to sing, but she knew that I didn't read music. And I said, I don't read, you know. And she said, don't worry, I'll help you. So when that semester ended, in the next semester, she took me to choir and introduced me to Anne, who welcomed me and put me in the back row within the bass section. And I soon began to learn that there were some guys back there that needed as much help as I did. We actually subgrouped. We had a name for ourselves. We were called the Shaky Basses. And the Shaky Basses got together at our home. When concerts were coming, we knew that we had to get up to snuff. We met at our home, and Jean would bang out the notes for us. We had a great time. It was more laughter than singing in some of those rehearsals. And then we'd also join Anne, who banged out the notes. And over at Ptolemy Church. And that was because the basses particularly, but the whole choir was into this. We knew that we wanted to sing well. And the thing that kept us going was the fact that we knew that Anne loved us, but when she was really distressed with us, she gave us the look. And she also, she encouraged us and she massaged our souls and she tried to do everything she could to get those of us who were in the back row to sing well. And the truth of the matter was, it worked and we did sing well. There was a reason for it. We knew that she wanted this choir to sound as good as possible, not just as good as possible. Part of her philosophy of music is to do the music justice by doing it excellently. So, when we were singing, we would keep our eye on Anne. By that time, we had learned the music so well that we had memorized it. Those of us who couldn't read didn't have a choice. We memorized the music. And in many cases, most of the cases, I would say, we rose to the occasion because we were so well directed. So, the first hallelujah is, hallelujah, I was a bass singer in the Chantry choir. The second hallelujah is like unto it even more so. The hallelujah is for the music itself. Uh, where would we be in our lives without the gift of music in our lives? Everybody has music in their hearts, I hope, and in their souls. But for us, those of us who are singers love to sing. And I was very much involved in the choir. Singing in the choir did wonders for my soul. And we were surrounded by good music. Jean, my wife, and her sister, Marty Church, were the librarians of the choir. And this is a big job. Choir this size has a huge library of music. And in those days, because music's expensive, we traded music with a lot of other choirs. So in our household, we had piles of music all over from time to time. And I realized that what this choir did, we sang everything. We sang folk, you know. We sang Broadway. We sang stuff from Disney. We sang classical. And we sang some of the world's greatest religious pieces. All of it satisfied my soul. But Jean and Marty, being the librarians, were kind of feared in the choir, because when it came time to hand in your music at the end of the semester, she threatened the choir with death or something worse. They were kind of known as the resident Gestapo. We have our ways, but get the music back. So, the second hallelujah is for the great music that we have sung over the years. And I was proud, as I think most of the people in the choir ought to be proud, that we not only sang it, we sang it well. And when we took our place at Ottawa at the National Arts Centre a couple of times, our choir could hold their own and do exceptionally well. When we toured Britain and sang in those great cathedrals, I came away from that feeling extremely pleased that we sounded as good as we did. It was just a delight. So it fed my soul. Jeanette Steves used to say to me occasionally, and she said this more than once, and I'm said this to me more than once, and I'm sure to some of you. She said, you know, Chuck, music is so important that if we do it right, we could have world peace. And hallelujah to Jeanette. If we were drinking people, we could drink to that. So the two words for the 50th anniversary are Alleluia and Alleluia.
We'll do a couple of numbers that we did in the 2000s. Wood River is a piece that we learned in Ottawa for the 2008 Unisong under the direction of Mark Surratt, from whom we'll hear later, and then Carry Me Home, a combination of spirituals. Acknowledging Bill Rayner as our soloist.
So won't you come with me where the Wood River flows, the little Wood River knows that it goes to nowhere, but that doesn't stop it going. All those willows growing, all of those lovers showing their hearts to each other there. The heart is bigger than trouble, and the heart is bigger than doubt, 'cause the heart sometimes needs a little help to figure that out. You come with me where the Wood River flows, the little Wood River knows. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
And now we invite two special collaborators. I think you're leaving. The choir's leaving. And where am I? And now we invite, as I mentioned, two special collaborators to collaborate with each other. Please welcome Hammers and String. They may have to wait a minute. Piano duo, otherwise known as Adrian Little and Christina Edwards, as they perform The Fairy Garden. Many of this choir's concerts either included a segment of show tunes or were all about show tunes. The very first concert I ever directed in the spring of 1988 was all Broadway show tunes. It seems that choirs love to sing them and audiences love to hear them. Wendell will share a solo, Bring Him Home from Les Mis, and then when the choir comes back in, we will share a medley of two favorite Rodgers and Hammerstein pieces. Okay, Wendell. As the choir returns, I'm just going to talk for a minute about Mark Surratt. He became a friend of Chantry Singers when we first went to Unisong in Ottawa in 2008. He was the director of the Mass Choir. Mark came to Port Elgin to do workshops with area choirs in 2010 and then again in 2018. He's a wonderful composer, and he's the arranger of our final piece, which you will hear just a little later. He has sent this video greeting for us.
Good morning, it's Mark Surratt, and what a delight it's been to get to know the Chantry Singers. All the best for your celebrations, and best wishes, of course, to Jeanette and Anne. I know it will be a wonderful concert.
Such a treat that he sent that. We will do the Rodgers and Hammerstein numbers, You'll Never Walk Alone with Climb Every Mountain. And now we conclude our concert today by paying tribute to our very own Jeanette Steeves, founding director of not only this choir, but also the Children's Festival Chorus and of the a cappella chamber choir. Jeanette has sent words for me to share with you from her on this occasion. Jeanette speaking. Congratulations to the Chantry singers on your 50th anniversary. For half a century, you have brought greetings and music to the lake shore of Bruce County and beyond. Formed in 1974 to celebrate Port Elgin's centenary, that initial concert aroused enthusiasm in singers and public so much that it was decided to initiate a tradition. Some of the singers in that first choir are in tonight's choir. Well done this afternoon, that's okay. Well done to all singers who have dedicated hours of practice and performance to bring pleasure to the community. Choir leaders, accompanists, and singers over the years, we bow to you this evening. And to the audiences, where would the music be without you? You have been there through shower, sunshine, and Bruce County blizzard. We offer you our heartfelt thanks. I am so sorry that I cannot be with you tonight for this outstanding musical celebration. So I say, thank you, Jeanette, for all you have done to instill a love of choral music into your choristers and into the community. You have been such a blessing. We are all profoundly disappointed that you are not able to be with us today to conduct our finale. We hope we do you justice. We'll finish with Danny Boy, and then Will You Know Come Back Again, that was arranged by Mark Surratt. There's a reception. thank you all so much for being here. It's a long afternoon, so thank you very much for being here. We're going to let you go. Have a wonderful evening. There is a reception, don't forget. Okay. Thank you.